Okay, I'm going to just start out with Photoshop and a very blank looking Photoshop, just so we can compare apples to apples as to what we're both doing. I mean, everybody has their own ways, but I'll just show you what I usually run. Okay, if you go up to the options menu here and go to Window, you'll see all the different various palettes that you can open. I guess the very first important one that I would want to open would be the Layers palette. You just drag and drop it wherever you like. The second one would be the History. And the third one would be my Tools. Now, a lot of these are contained, there's palettes that are grouped together. So say for instance Navigator, which I'll show you how I use Navigator after. It can be on its own, or you can group together your palettes. And this one, channels, I don't know, I just always leave it there. I've just started to sort of delve into that. But for whatever reason, I keep it there. Layers I use a lot. Actions I use tremendously a lot. They're preloaded actions that you can get all over the web, or you can create your own, and I'm going to explain that probably at a later date, and you're going to love actions. Okay, so then as far as opening files, I open them up in three different ways. Obviously, you can go to File and go to Open, and by default it'll go back to the same folder that I retrieved a picture the last time, so obviously it was in Janice's Pics. Second way is I can double-click anywhere on this gray background in Photoshop, and again it'll bring up that folder, and then I can choose my file. And then the third way, a lot of times I'll browse through the folder and I'll be looking and I'll have Photoshop running, and then I'll pick the picture that I've actually, it's especially helpful when I've done a photo shoot and I've got, you know, maybe several hundred pictures to look through, and then as I see ones that I go, ooh, I want to process that one, I'll pick it, and then I just simply drag it over and drop it, and voila, there it is. It's in my it's in Photoshop. Now, the other thing here is that I always like to view it in proof colors, and you'll see sort of the difference because that's the way it's actually going to print, or it's going to show in Windows on the monitor after you've saved it, so even on the web. So if you've noticed that there's a bit of it, see, it looks a little more, quite a bit more bleached out. If you've noticed that with your pictures, possibly it's because you're not looking at your picture originally in proof colors. Now, a really quick shortcut for that, instead of having to go into the menu, is just to go Control Y. And if you do it again, it just toggles it on and off. Okay, that's that lesson.